Hi everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Fridays with a Ranger. I'm Ranger Shannon with Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail in beautiful Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm joined once again by my pet Syrian hamster, Honorary Ranger Fig. We're both sporting some sparkly patriotic headbands in honor of today's episode. I'm sitting at the kitchen table in my apartment with a lovely backdrop of fireworks and some fun patriotic and flag-themed decorations. Can you guess why? Tomorrow, July 4th, is a well-known and widely celebrated holiday in the United States of America. It's Independence Day, or as it's often referred to, the 4th of July. Shown is a large firework exploding in the night sky over the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Independence Day commemorates July 4th, 1776, when Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, a document written by Thomas Jefferson announcing and explaining the United States' separation from Great Britain. Shown is an illustration of the Declaration of Independence next to a quill pen set in a silver inkwell. On this day, the USA became an independent nation, one of the most important days in American history. Shown is an illustration of the presentation of the Declaration of Independence to Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on July 4, 1776. A seated gathering of men looks on as committee members Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert E. Livingston gather with Congress members at a table to review the document. Today, many of us celebrate the 4th of July with barbecues, pool parties, beach bonfires, and of course, fireworks. But did you know the Corps of Discovery celebrated it too? In fact, they spent 4 Independence Days together during the Lewis and Clark expedition from 1803 to 1806. Let's take a closer look at a couple of those celebrations. July 4th, 1804. The Corps of Discovery camped near present-day Atchison, Kansas, 52 days after leaving the St. Louis area and traveling up the Missouri River. Regarding their festivities, Sergeant Patrick Gass wrote,
"We fired a swivel at sunrise in honor of the day, and continued our voyage. Passed a creek on the north side, called Pond Creek, and at 1 o'clock stopped to dine. One of our people got snake-bitten, but not dangerously. After dinner we renewed our voyage and passed a creek on the north side which we called Independence, and camped on the north side at an old Indian village situated in a handsome prairie, and saluted the departing day with another gun." Sergeant Patrick Gass, July 4th, 1804.
Shown is an illustration of the Corps' 2 pirogues flanking both sides of the larger keelboat as they sail down the Missouri River. July 4th, 1805. The crew had just survived a difficult portage around the Great Falls of the Missouri River in Montana. After completing their preparations for the next day's journey, the crew began a more memorable celebration than the year before. Sergeant John Ordway remarked,
"It being the 4th of Independence, we drank the last of our ardent spirits, except a little reserved for sickness. The fiddle put in order, and the party amused themselves dancing all the evening until about 10 o'clock in a civil and jovial manner." Sergeant John Ordway, July 4th, 1805.
Shown is an illustration of Corps Discovery members Joseph Field, Captain Meriwether Lewis, Patrick Gass, and John Shields stretching leather skins over the iron canoe frame on the banks of the Great Falls of the Missouri River in Montana. Firing rifles, playing music, dancing, drinking alcohol, enjoying a fine meal. In many ways, the Corps of Discovery's 4th of July celebrations resemble our own. For a lot of Americans, Independence Day is a fun summer day spent with family and friends. However, it's important for us to consider the significance that the formation of our nation meant not only for colonists, but also the native peoples who had lived in North America for millennia, those who were brought there against their own free will, and those who arrived seeking a better life but given less opportunities because of their race and socioeconomic status. What did America's independence mean for them, And what did it cost them? We welcome you to discuss these questions with others and down below in our comments section. Thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Fridays with a Ranger. We wish you a safe and fun holiday weekend and hope to see you back next week for more Ranger fun. Bye!